So what about this obsession with Ram and this frenzy over the Ram temple, which of course now is going to be inaugurated? Where do you find this? Isn't it then misplaced?
I don't know, I wouldn't use those words, they're very strong words, obsession, frenzy, all this. Because if somebody has to be an inspiration after 7,000–8,000 years, there must be some element there. Not for one or two people. For millions and millions of people, if someone has to be an inspiration after thousands of years, there must be something. If we don't see that something, then we will say it's an obsession, it is this, that.
What do you see?
Let me come to this. And anyway, coming to that Ram temple, so Ram had a series of problems during his life. Even after thousands of years, he still has real estate issues. His real estate is not settled after thousands of years. So people who love him want to settle that real estate. I think it's settled, Supreme Court has settled it. So they want to build a temple. It is devotion. Why should it be termed as frenzy and obsession?
Is it, let me use another word which again you will say is strong, isn't it divisive?
Why is it divisive?
Because it cuts across two communities.
Really?
It's been a bloody tale, and by bloody I mean a tale of blood, a tale of killings, a tale of riots.
What's happened in the last 800 years is the bloodiest tale that's ever happened in any part of the world ever. What happened to the Jews with Adolf Hitler? What happened to Native Americans with North America? What happened in Cambodia? All these things are nothing compared to what happened in India in these 800 years. And if you don't think that is bloody, and there is no any kind of remorse in people who committed those things, then just people want a small piece of real estate back for their asta, and that is divisive. Why is it divisive?
I mark that you're using the word real estate and not temple. Is that deliberate?
It is real estate, but temple is built by devotees' hearts. The land is just real estate. But it's sacred for them because it is identified as a birthplace, and obviously there's no question mark whether there was a temple or not. It is not one temple. Thousands of temples were raised because that's the policy, that it must be raised, and it will be raised in future also. If we don't protect it, it will be raised in future also. Even now in Pakistan, Bangladesh is happening. Why should it be divisive? Why can't everybody settle down to whatever nonsense they believe in and do their stuff? I can live without any belief system, but maybe people need some belief systems, so they have their beliefs. But how come I think my belief is right and yours is wrong and you must die just for believing whatever I don't believe? If you don't address that and you say all these words, it's just, what is this? Where does this come from?
You spoke about the past, you spoke about past wars. Do two wrongs make a right?
See, there are no two wrongs. It's just a request. These three icons, Shiva, Rama, Krishna, thousands have been… temples have been demolished. Nobody is asking because it's impossible to refix the history, and nobody thinks it can be… we can refix the history, nor is anybody interested. These three icons, where their, their basic presence was, these three iconic places they're asking for, why can't it be just offered without a fight? Where is a fight? And nobody is fighting, they're only going to the court. Court is not a fight, it's a legal process. Why are you calling legal process a fight?
You have never prayed in your life or gone to a temple, or have you gone and when did you stop going? And have you read the scriptures?
I've definitely not read the scriptures. I'm not a temple-going person, I have built temples, but I don't go there. Ones. If I go to a temple, if there is… see, our temples are not places of prayer. This is something that people have completely missed. Probably in the north, it's completely gone. In southern India, still the instructions are there. Here the instructions are, in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, if you go to your temple, nobody told you you must pray, you must appeal to the god and this and that. If you go there, you must sit quietly in one place, because these are different types of energies. Consecrations are of different types. Each deity is consecrated in a certain way to open certain dimensions of your life. So you are supposed to sit there and imbibe that. Even in North, they only told you to have darshan, not have appeal, isn't it? Darshan means, because it's an energetic form, you take that impression into your mind and your heart. This will transform you. Because it's an energetic form, the physical form is just like a scaffolding. It is there, it is necessary for the visual apparatus, but it's the energetic form, you're supposed to imbibe it. Because in this civilization that you refer to as Hindu right now, which unfortunately has been so badly distorted, or let's say probably more appropriate word would be Sanatan, but that also has become a bad word today. Sanatan means eternal. So in this culture, nothing can be eternal unless it's all-inclusive. In this culture, there is no such thing as prayer. In this culture, there is darshan. In this culture, the aspiration is to not to go to heaven and sit with God. In this culture, the aspiration is to become divine. The aspiration is to become divine, because what we consider as divine is something that's risen above what we normally think is human action-reaction kind of life. See, for example, many people, even in newspapers it's being written, Tendulkar is cricketing God. Because in people's mind, at least during his time, it's still so, whatever we thought was humanly possible, he rose beyond that, just hitting a damn ball, that's all.
People say Sadhguru is God, your followers say Sadhguru is God.
No, nobody says that. They put me to work every day. So, when they say he is God, they're not saying he lives in heaven or some nonsense. They are saying he's risen above what we think is human ceiling. He's risen above that. This is how we worshipped Rama, Krishna, everybody. They rose beyond their limitations, no matter what life throws at them. Even in a battlefield, they're cool. Even in a battlefield, he's joking. So we bow down to him when everybody's terrified of life and death. Somebody is above that, means we'll bow down to him. Even now, suppose in Indian army, there is one major or one colonel or somebody, even in bullets are flying, he's just cool. Everybody will worship him because he's risen in some way. So in this culture, we are not wanting to go to God, we want to become that. But our idea is not the God. We see everything as God. We'll bow down to a tree, we'll bow down to a cow, we'll bow down to a snake, we'll bow down to a rock, man, woman, child, anything. Because no piece of life is happening without the source of creation throbbing in it. If you recognize it, you bow down. If you don't, you don't.